Hey, before we start the show, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you continue getting notifications for Hostile Therapy with Big Red. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on this story coming out? Raz, you know a little bit about this story?
Yeah, I did some research on it. Um, Honestly, you just need to watch who your friends are and know who to be around on certain trips and who not to be around. Obviously, the girl already had an issue with her. No one has came out with any statements or anything. Even her friend Khalil, who was her best friend, um, like when I was reading on it, he was with the family every day ever since and talking to them every day. But since this video came out, he's gone completely silent and ghost. So that is enough evidence to let you know that he was in the room. I don't know if he was the one saying fight back or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like you need to be weary of who your friends are, And obviously, the girl was very intoxicated when she was being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because she wasn't even defending herself, and that should have let you know, like, she wasn't even trying to fight at the end of the day. So, I hate to see story like this. I hate to see friends, so-called friends, betray other friends and treat them, like they just random people on the street. I mean, I wouldn't even do random people on the street like what they did to this girl. So, yeah, I definitely want justice for her, especially she being in Mexico, going on a trip, trying to relax and have fun. 25. It's kind of getting ridiculous out here that even when you're amongst people that you're supposed to trust, that you can't even come back alive.
Yeah, that actually happened to my cousin, right? So she was going to college, she was going to St. Elizabeth. So her and these girls decided, she begged my cousin, please let me go, let me go. They went down to Virginia Beach, and what they did was, luckily it didn't tear her cornea, but they kicked beach sand in her eyes. And so now she's defenseless because, sand scratches your eye.
Right.
So she's like swinging, swinging, and they beat her up now. She is probably 4'8", maybe like 85 pounds, very petite. Well, luckily someone called the police. So she's swinging, and then guess what? She hit the cops. So now she's in Virginia Beach. She ended up having to do 6 months and withdraw from school from that. And her life, I can honestly say, has never, ever, ever been the same, because she had to do 6 months in Virginia Beach for assault on an officer. The girls was never charged, and they had been going to school for like 3 years. And so, you're thinking like, these are my friends. And like when I tell you, her life has never been the same. She said she saw assaults in jail, like all kind of stuff. And my cousin, who is a deacon, not that that matters, but he was like, the only thing I could do is pray for her. No visits, no nothing. He was like, because I told her not to go. But these are college kids. And these are, the other kids have been by your house. They were like hanging out. You've met their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I kind of felt like the parent, my cousin should have supported their daughter a little bit more, even get her like a better lawyer. They were like, nope, I told her don't do it, but her life has never been the same since then.
That's fucked up. Condolences. I mean, that she's not
She,
going. But
Yeah,
she gonna get through it.
never has been the same, because she was always like a very sheltered child. She doesn't know, like she lived in a bubble. And I used to tell him, I'd be like, look, you need to go take her to the hood or something, so she can, it's good to be book smart, but you need to take her to the hood so she can experience different things. You know what I mean? Nope. I was like, all right. And, I'm not saying that it couldn't have happened in a different circumstance, but, you know, it's been like 5 years and she's still like, she just can't get over it.
She go to therapy?
You know what? Again, some people, they just, when it comes sometimes for our people, we don't believe in therapy. We'll just pray about it. We're going to go talk to the pastor. But the pastor got problems.
You need therapy.
You need therapy. That's what I was telling
you. The pastor had problems? Is that what you're saying?
Look, he needs therapy.
A whole nother situation.
A
whole nother situation.
You can't go to a pimp about somebody beating you up. He a pimp himself. I mean, that's a whole other. That's a whole other. So I
He
don't even
slapped in the name of the Lord.
I don't mean to digress. I'm sorry.
Shut up.
And thank you
Wow.
for letting me come on here because I just took like 15 minutes when I first came on. Y'all just let me talk. I went on this whole rant.
It's okay. That's what this is for. That's what this is for. I just really think that the amount of force that was applied to this young lady was very, like, I feel like multiple people had hands in this. And even though the video only shows one attacker, I definitely feel as though there were multiple and they're just not, you know, saying anything. And I don't know how many times I've been set up twice by so-called friends, and luckily I was able to, you know, get out and survive that. But it's just sad that, you know, as young Black women, you can't trust anybody. I mean, you can to a certain extent, but it's like you cannot trust anyone, especially when you're going on these trips to Mexico. I would think that, you know, they done got caught up in the situation in Mexico, but it's your own people that is attacking you, and you can't even live your life, you know. And then you have a friend that's going around your family members pretending to grieve you and be there for your for your family, but then when the video comes out, he's silent. So yeah, Khalil, we need you to come. Come on. We need some more answers, Khalil.
Some guy named Nas, he was trying to say that.
Godson?
Oh no, not him. Because I was wondering too. I got him. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, I was about to say.
I'm not seeing Neil.
Not the Escobar.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was like, we ain't playing them game. This guy who went, name was Nas, and he was showing his ticket, and so he was saying that he thought she was drunk and that she had passed out. And when the nurse told him to come in the room, she had a black eye, you know, she had knot on her head. He said, but he thought that she had fallen, but it didn't make sense because then, you know, bloggers, somebody else said that he assaulted, that they were in a relationship and that he assaulted her years early on. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that too?
I heard there was a girl that came out and said she got raped by him.
Yeah, that he raped her.
All word.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, that's all I have to say.
So what?
I mean, clearly she probably was intoxicated. I mean, she was intoxicated. She had injuries and stuff. So of course she was probably giving off the vibe of her being heavily intoxicated. She was dying.
A split lip ain't got nothing to do with being intoxicated, and a broken neck and spine and all that. So
because it's like if they had that kind of animosity, did they hold it the whole plane ride? Like
they should be able to tell. If that was her friend, he was just like, I'm sitting by her, making sure she doesn't pass out or die from alcohol poisoning.
How do you even leave her?
The split lip.
They left her, and then they lied about the pretense in which she died. Like,
right.
It's confusing the fuck out of me. It's evil when you start really thinking about it. Like you went on a trip, like for that young lady, like for her to spend her last moments in the company of people that she thought were her friends, but now she's seeing are gonna be her killers. You know that's. And then they came back. It's almost like they made a murder pact or some shit. Like I can't wrap my head around what would if you have this much animosity towards someone to the point that you would fight them. One, why are you calling them your friend? To the point that y'all would plan a whole entire trip together and leave the country together. Like
they weren't friends.
Nope. Can I ask you guys a question? Because maybe you know. So since this happened in Mexico, they died in Mexico, but this guy and them people are U.S. citizens. Can they still be charged for murder?
They should be back to Mexico.
Yes. If she died on their soil, the federales can extradite them back to Mexico, and they will be prosecuted under their laws.
Same way they can get somebody sold drugs.
They have to come and get them
back to America.
What I want,
but the U.S. has to kind of work that out.
Right.
Wow. They were saying that the charges are not, the charges and statutes or whatever, not the same in Mexico than Jersey. I don't know. That's what
They brought her all the way out there to beat up.
It was different.
And the maid found her.
Let me ask y'all this question here. And before I get into it, let me just say my thing. Where, me as an older gentleman, and people are like, when you go to network with people and stuff like that, and like, why don't you just make some friends and stuff like that? This is why I don't make friends like that, because a lot of times the friends you had when you grew up, you went through some sort of struggle with them. That you learn their character along the way. You can't really learn somebody's character in a couple of days, or even sometimes a couple of years. So, and it's even harder for guys to make new friends when you get in your 30s and 40s. You gonna stick around the people you know.
Wow.
So it's not easy just to make friends out there, because there's a struggle factor that you need to go through. Like, that dude is gonna be there for me through thick and thin. I don't know how long this girl and the guys that were on this trip, I don't think she knew all the guys except for the one guy that claimed he was caring for her. I don't know how long she knew them, but there is a certain struggle factor you got to go through to know if people are really your friend. But my question I was going to ask you guys, this is your daughter before she goes on this trip. What advice would you give your daughter or your son who's about to go on a trip with some strangers, basically? What advice would you give them to know if these people are really your friends or not?
Let me say,
Because I know most black homes, including mine, you didn't go spend the night at just random people's homes.
We
You
ain't spending
know
the night.
the parent.
Oh,
You didn't know the kid.
we ain't spending the night, period.
Right.
Nope.
But she's 25 years old. She's grown. What advice would you have given her? Some people.
I wanna read something real quick. What I posted, and I say it over and over again, and I will say it again. Be careful of people and these three titles: friends, family, and associates. You will know who your friends are. Be observant of what they say in front of you and behind your back. Anytime you are jealous of someone, you're really mad at yourself. No one should be jealous of anyone. Find your truths, goals, and get things straightened out in your life. And guess what? That person will find out. There's always a snake in the circle. Pay attention. A dog that brings a bone also carries one back. Jealousy is real, and you will always see the signs. Family is not always family. Family sometimes is just family because of DNA, not because they care or love you. They tolerate you. Watch them too. Jealousy is real. The fakeness will show, just pay attention. And associates will also show their true colors. Those are individuals who are just there to be needy or greedy. What happened to that young girl in Mexico was definitely a setup by her enemies, not her friends. Be careful. You never know who may be plotting against you. Stay focused. Keep those evil spirits away, no matter who they are. Remember, Satan the devil was once a beautiful angel in heaven, but jealousy made him evil and ugly. So I would tell my daughter that don't think everybody is your friend, because your friends will show their loyalty. It's all about loyalty. And first of all, I would hope that I would probably tell her, don't drink. Go have a good time, drink some ginger ale, drink water. Don't drink. Don't go out into these, and I know it may look good and stuff, but maybe I would show her an example of what goes on and what people really do. People are there's no loyalty today, and it's really sad. And women, I'm not saying men don't do it, but women are extremely jealous of each other.